see this. What is it called again?
Camcorder. No, not camcorder.
No, the
Yeah,
place.
camcorder, yeah.
No, you like the place.
Oh, this.
What's it called again?
Radcliffe Tower.
So this is Radcliffe Tower, as you see. So you can see all around.
Okay, and welcome to the Radcliffe Manor Landscape and Natural History. Now, in this document here, as we read it, in a wide loop of the River Irwell and backed by the Radcliffe on the south bank, archaeological digs in the 1949 and 1950s found evidence of settlements dating back to 600 BC. The large expanse of meadows known as the Ease offers farmland for rearing animals and growing crops for hundreds of years. Both the manor and the church were able to collect a good share of the products throughout the medieval period. Traditional haymaking in these fields encouraged a rich variety of plants and wildflowers that remains right up to modern times. Though many habits were lost with the coming of industry and then waste tipping, biodiversity is now increasing as the land is reclaimed by nature. Yeah. So, in this little history blog at the bottom, we've got 600 BC, which is prehistoric, prehistoric settlement established in Radcliffe. The Ease. We've got AD 43 to 410, a Roman road from Manchester to Ribchester built close by. We've got 1068, which is highlighted here, the land of Radcliffe gifted to Nicholas Fitzburg de Talbot. And then in 1190, William de Radcliffe rebuilt St Mary's Church. And then we have 1403, the license to crenellate, i.e. rebuild and fortify, I think it says Radcliffe Manor. It also mentions about some wildlife in the area, but I won't read that. But there is a little note at the top here, which is in the circle. Did you know the Royal Manor of Radcliffe is mentioned in the Domesday Book as hunting ground held by King Edward the Confessor? Wonderful, great.
You see over there, there's an abandoned castle. We haven't investigated yet. I want to go here. So, just right on a road past Eastwood Primary School, and that's all. Say hello.
Point at the sky.
Hello.
You see my face?
Say hello.
Hello.
We're going to film this on YouTube. So, as you see, lots of cars. Oh, right place we can go here. Lots of signs, as you see. Lots of flowers over there. There. There must be a way to get in. Sorry, but I need to end the video maybe.
Let's go.
Now, as you see
Hang on, wait. Go on.
As I see people, I love it. Seriously, look over there. Look, lots of nature. Green is nature. Lots of it. All around this world is nature. You can film it.
Oh. I've got a funny feeling that it might be over there.
But it's not, maybe.
Let's go up here first, yeah?
Yeah, let's see what's over here first. Good flat surface. So like Bob and Bert.
Bob and Bert.
I green there.
Yeah.
It's in Manchester. Lots of green around the world, right? And nature is spreading around the world. Because green is
We've got some
nature.
tennis courts over there. Looking very nice.
Lots of nature. That's a golf club. And
Yeah. Yeah, I think over there's where we're going to go.
right up.
Back over there.
Metal.
So we'll follow this back the way we came.
Right up. Oh, catch up.
This is all quite new. You know, I mean,
Hello over here, huh? There's flies everywhere. No.
come on. There's flies everywhere in life. Everywhere.
I don't like it.
See the church? See the top of the church from here?
I don't like it though. Please. No, I hate flies.
Yeah, they're everywhere, Hudson. Everywhere. Yeah, they're the reason birds have things to eat. Yeah, birds eat flies and other bugs and other animals eat flies and then other animals eat them and then you get like proper chickens and cows. So it's all part of the food, all part of natural society. Ooh, pardon me.
Here we have an entry for Radcliffe Tower, and it reads, although it has been much modified since it was built, the tower, which probably originally stood alone, was eventually incorporated into the manor house of the de Radcliffe family, one of the most important families in medieval Lancashire. The tower was probably already standing in 1403 when James de Radcliffe was granted a licence to credellate, permission to fortify with battlements and rebuild his manor house by Henry VIII. No. Letters then, you know, it's MMXAAR, yeah. So that should be 4, Henry IV, I think that is. The tower is a Pele tower, a form of medieval fortification found in the north of England and Scottish borders, and at Radcliffe was probably 3 stories high. Originally the ground floor would have been used for storage with living accommodation above. However, when the hall was built adjoining it, the ground floor was most likely converted into a kitchen with the insertion of up to 3 fireplaces. Wonderful. We have a picture of it here, pretty much in its ruin, which although with slight attachment of other building to it, but you'll see that later in the thing. Regarding the tower, entry on the ground floor was via a wooden door secured from the inside by 2 wooden bars held in drawer holes set into the wall on either side of the arched doorway. The remains of the stone stairway built into the thickness of the wall indicates access to the first floor, which probably had another fireplace. These upper floors were probably used solely by the de Radcliffe family. And can we see at the bottom a ground plan of the tower from History and Traditions of Radcliffe by Alfred Nichols in 1905. And at the top we have a photograph of artwork by Bury College students. Wonderful. Did you know it says a circle at the top? From the 1860s the tower was used as a cow shed. Wonderful. The entries at the bottom we've seen some before, but because the date has slid slightly along, we see that in 1410 James de Radcliffe dies and is buried in St Mary's Church, and then in 1561 the Radcliffe estate is sold to the Ashton family.
I hate them. Please.
Come on, just ignore them. Look, if you're in Australia, yeah, they've got like things that bite you. Yeah? Here in England, flies don't bite you.
But I hate them.
Mm. Oh, look at this path.
It's not like that.
Look at this path, it's multicoloured. It's a stone. Stones.
Actually.
It looks very nice with the two different shades of grey. Dark
Well,
and...
guess what? I did not like that. And even I saw a snail. I meant spider. I saw a spider and guess what? That is not
You saw a spider?
Yeah. And then the moon. I wish there was dead.
Well, this isn't looking helpful. That one.
But even then, I also saw a blue ball.
Oh, you're kidding me.
Wow, Roger.
Well, that is a clocked... That looks like a locked gate to me. It's Saturday. Okay, I'll go this way around.
Here we have an entry for the manor house. It says Radcliffe was a Saxon manor before the Norman invasion, and it's mentioned as a royal manor in the Domesday Survey of 1086. The Radcliffe family, who took their name from the local sandstone outcrop, is known to have had possession of the manor by 1193. They may have lived in a building predating the one pictured, which was probably built at the same time as the tower. By 1517 it had ceased to be used as the de Radcliffe chief family home. The Radcliffe estate was sold to the Ashton family in 1561, and in 1765 the estate transferred through marriage to the Wilton family of Heaton Hall, Manchester. As the house was not maintained, it became dilapidated and was demolished around 1840. It was sold as building material to the Bealeys, and some was used in the construction of Tower Row, now known as Tower Street. And further down it says the outwest wall of the tower showed the shallow slots into which the end of the house roof timbers were set. The great hall would have had a wooden screen at the end to divide the kitchen, situated in the tower, from the main part of the hall, where members of the household took their meals and probably where the servants lived and slept. The hall led to the manor house, where the gentry lived. And at the bottom there we have an engraving showing an artist's impression of the Great Hall, and this is held at the Manchester Library if you want to go see it. At the top is a photograph of artwork of what it would have looked like somewhat. And oh, did you know that Ordsall Hall, a similar house and hall, was built by a branch of the de Radcliffe family? Parts of the surviving building date back to 1360. Right, so looking to the bottom, what have we got? Oh, we've got a watercolour. Oh, I see, that's the picture. It references, it's a painting. And at the bottom we have the 1190 of the 1403, the rebuilding. 1410, the Radcliffe family dies. 1516, sold to the Ashton family. And then we have 1617, the site becomes a farmstead. The Great Hall is used as a barn. And I can't quite read the rest of that. Brilliant. Wonderful.
Too close. Yeah.
There's too many leaves.
Too many leaves.
Look what's on that side.
Okay, so here we have the Tower Farm and Tower Row, and it says around 1670 the manor house site became a farmstead. Tower Farm evolved over the next 300 years as a collection of buildings facing Church Street East. The entrance to the farmyard was where the current gates stand. The farm worked land southwards to the river. And you see a map there, if you compare it with a Radcliffe map. It says, in the 1830s, the manor house site was acquired by the Beeleys, who used some of the material to build a row of 10 houses on Tower Street. The backyard of these houses were excavated in 2013. Each house had access to outdoor tipplers, toilets, which were flushed using wastewater from the kitchen sink. The mechanism for collecting the water was counterbalanced, so it operated when it was full rather than when the toilets needed flushing. Oh, at the bottom there's a diagram showing the tippler toilet, how the tippler toilet worked. Yeah. And here you can see a photo, possible 19 Tower Street prior to its demolition. And it does look a bit wreck and ruin. At the bottom there it says the area around Tower in 1930, showing Tower Street and Church Row. The footprint of the farm is shown on the ground in brown. Coloured gravel and Tower Row house in grey. Gravel with pink tiles, and that must be referring to the picture across. We got two photos, and it says in the middle, Tower Farm buildings looking towards Church Street East in the 1960s, and then well, that's it for that. Wonderful. Oh, that's a. Did you know? Did you know the Tippler toilet mechanism was patented by Ducats of Burnley in 1898? And at the bottom, we've got the 1670s. The site becomes a farmstead. Great Hall is used as a barn, and the new buildings are erected. Farm use continues until the 1960s. We've got the 1750s. Beeley family began bleaching business. The Beeley family began bleaching business on site to north of Manor House. The first family home built was called The Close. 1765. By marriage, the Radcliffe estate comes into the ownership of the Wilton family of Heaton Hall. And then we have 1710 to 1811. Beeley's got substantially expanded, culminated in rebuilding of the weir at Worth off Bury Road. And the final one there is 1830s. The manor house site acquired by Beeley family. The house and Great Hall are demolished, and 10 cottages built on the Tower Street and 7 on Church Row. Wonderful. That's great.
In grateful memory of Brian Grimditch, 1954 to 2015, whose passion for community archaeology helped him bring Radcliffe Pass back to life. That's really nice.